All right, so welcome everyone to tonight's call. I'm super excited, and kudos to all of you guys watching live or catching the replay. You guys hopped on these tickets early so that you could take advantage of this early bird special, and that is to get this amazing guest speaker here, who, there we go, now I finally got to share my screen with her. So this is one of my dear friends and also marketing coach for the last 3 years with the Dough Planner. So I think we started working with Kelsey, oh my goodness, yeah, probably about 3 years ago, up till about last year, and we just got so many goodies, and she was was able to for us to launch in terms of marketing. We knew nothing about marketing, and Kelsey did such an amazing job working side by side with us. And yeah, it's just such a blessing to have had the opportunity to work with her. And she offered up this amazing session for you guys, and you are in for a huge treat this evening. So you guys are going to be learning that. You can tell it's evening, right? 3 secrets for building a standout marketing strategy for your doTERRA business. That's what you guys are going to be learning tonight, and I'm super stoked. I'm going to be taking some notes here as well, and we're going to dive in. So this is going to be about 45 minutes, so hopefully you can let everyone know around you to leave you alone. This is your time for your business so that you can go on and make magic happen. So I am going to hit the mute button on my end, highlight Kelsey, and she's going to take it from here. And Kelsey, I'll make you a co-host too, just in case you need to share screen or anything. So everyone, give it up for Kelsey. Show her some love in the chat box here as we get started.
I'll show you some love with a little happy face there. Can you all hear me okay? Yes? Okay, wicked. Welcome everybody. So excited to be here. Keep that chat box up because this will be interactive. If you want to throw your cameras on, I want to see you. It's really hard to just talk to a bunch of names. So I love having cameras on, but I get it. If you're winding down, if you're in our time zone, I'm in Eastern time zone, it's 7:30, you might be tired. I get it. So do your thing. As long as you are able to tune in and take some notes, maybe take some nuggets away, I hope my job is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen because I do have a presentation that I want to pop up and teach from. Okay, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see this? Yes? All right, I'm seeing thumbs up from Vicky. So thanks, Vicky. So Jen said I was going to teach 3 secrets, but I decided to do 6 because I actually teach a whole marketing course on the principles of marketing mastery, and I have trouble picking my favorite. So if there's time, I will go through 6. If not, I will send you the rest of the recording afterwards because I know we only have about 45 minutes and I want to leave some time for Q&A. So to kick off, I want to get you thinking a little bit. So think about this. Why do some brands soar to success while others seem to fizzle out, plummet, and oftentimes end up failing? Why are some wellness advocates attracting new essential oil customers every single day? Like they're getting leads every dang day, while others are struggling to sell 1 kit a month? Or why do some businesses seem to make marketing look effortless? So effortless, you don't actually realize they're marketing to you, right? While other businesses seem to be pushing product down your throat when you don't even want it. And the answer to all 3 of those questions is marketing, okay? Marketing is literally the lifeblood of your business. And without a good marketing strategy, you risk having things fall apart. And you might even feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. You're posting on LinkedIn, you're putting up a tweet, you're sending out an email, you're teaching a class, and you're like, what is actually working here, right? So I'm sure many of you can relate to that feeling. Okay, let me switch my slide here. So a good comprehensive marketing strategy, and I'm going to do a little like back work on marketing just for those of you who are like, what is marketing? Why is it important? And then I'll get into the strategies. So a good marketing strategy is like a bike wheel. So hear me out on this one. So you see that little part at the center of the wheel? That is the hub. That is the center of the wheel. It is what you're selling. So if you have a doTERRA business and you're selling essential oils, that's at the hub. If you host a 30-day detox and oils are part of it, that is the hub, okay? As you can see, these bright colored wheels, so that big red thing that circles all of the spokes in the hub, this is an analogy of really the infinite amount of people in the world that could be your customers, okay? And as that wheel keeps rolling and rolling, there are new people being born every single day. There's always customers to be had. Then you can kind of see these black spokes coming off of the wheels, right? Each spoke is a marketing effort. So now you can picture as the wheel is rolling around and Susie's walking about her day and she encounters one of your marketing messages, which is the spoke. And she's like, oh my goodness, like I have spring allergies. And you posted on Facebook about spring allergies. She comes down the spoke and enters your offer. But maybe she's not on Facebook. So she's going about her day. And then she gets an email from you at 4 p.m. when her allergies start acting up. She comes in the spoke and enters your offer. So for most of you, if one spoke out of 15 breaks down, your business is going to keep growing, right? That's okay. But where I see a lot of challenge with wellness advocates is that without a consistent marketing strategy, spokes are just breaking by the day and you're not fixing them. And all of a sudden you only have one, maybe two spokes, but that's not enough to keep your wheel intact. With only two spokes on this wheel, the pressure is going to break the entire system. And that is why we need to have a consistent marketing strategy, because you need to reach people from multiple touch points at different times throughout their day. So that's really what I'm going to drill home tonight. Before we get into it, I would love to know who is here. So in the chat box, would you mind typing your name, typing where you live, because I don't know where you all are in the world. And then I want you to also say in that typed bit, what is the biggest challenge you face in growing your business? Like when you think, okay, what's holding me back from reaching that next rank? What is it? Like sum it up in 2 or 3 words. I don't need the whole backstory, but what is challenging right now? And I'm going to pull up my chat box just so that I can see and hopefully be able to interact with you based on these comments. I'm just going to stop my share so I get the chat. Awesome. So I'm going to give you quickly 30 seconds and I want to hear. It just helps me to actually customize this training to exactly what you're all going through. Holly from Guelph, hey, biggest challenge is having builders quit and attracting new builders to build alongside me. Okay, so it's about the builders. So I will try to, relate a lot of this content to attracting builders, not just customers. Awesome, Giselle. My team is small and I need to connect with people that can afford to get started. Okay, so finding the right people. You want to talk to people who are in a position to get started with you, right? Attracting builders. Okay. Echo what Holly says, no builders. Okay, so builders is definitely the key here. You are overanalyzing what you're posting, trying to find the right words. Yes, I'm going to help you with that. Trying to find people. Awesome. Nancy, reaching new people and figuring out what to do. Okay, so I'm sensing some themes here, all of which I'm confident I can help you address tonight. And I will definitely take questions at the end. So either type your questions in the chat as they come up and I can revisit, or just save them and then we can do them in the Q&A. Okay, so quickly, I want to share a little bit about me as the person who's going to be talking to you in your ear for the next 45 minutes. So my name is Kelsey Reidl. I am the founder of Visionary Inc., and that's where we coach creative, driven, and motivated individuals to launch and grow their businesses with foundational strategies and innovative marketing techniques. One of the reasons I'm so passionate about talking about marketing and really this more modern marketing approach is because way back when I started my online business and built an online course, I actually signed up for a marketing coaching program. And in this program, it was all about learning these harmful, unethical marketing and sales techniques, like using fake scarcity, like putting salt in people's wounds in order to sell to them. And it was literally like the definition of everything that makes you go, ugh, ick. And looking back on it, it was a total nightmare. But because I was just starting my business, I needed clients and students in the course. I thought, well, maybe this is the way it's supposed to go. So a few terrible campaigns that were totally not me and horrible sales calls later, I realized that there had to be a different way. There had to be a better way to build my business that actually felt true to me. And I had to go to bed with myself at the end of the night. So I wanted a marketing strategy that felt fun, that worked. I wanted to tap into things that were not sleazy. I was like, well, what did people used to do 50 years ago to promote their business? There's got to be some info in that. And I wanted to return to the time-honored principles that I knew would make me feel like an ethical business owner. So that's where I really started to do some digging into what marketing actually was and how I could show up for my clientele, show up for my audience, and deliver value in a way that resonated for them, in a way that made them feel safe. Because if people don't feel safe with the way you're approaching your marketing, if you're trying to, get builders, like I'm going to get you, they don't feel safe and they are going to run far, far away. We generally only pull out our credit cards when we feel safe and in control. Okay. So I really want to make sure that everything I teach you tonight is ethical marketing, because there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world of marketing trainings right now, but that is not good for longevity in a business. So if you want to be around in business a while, then these principles and secrets will hopefully help you do that. So my goal is to really guide you back home to your inner marketer. I'm looking at all of you right now and I see a marketer in you. So even if you've said before, and I bet a lot of you have, I don't know how to do marketing. I'm not good at marketing, okay? I want to show you that marketing is inside of all of us. There is a crazy awesome marketing campaign in you all that is going to attract your next builder, that is going to allow you to sell more essential oils. And it's about embracing that. It's about embracing that marketing can be fun. It can be cozy. It can feel like being in this cute cottage where you're literally just pulling up a blanket, sitting beside a friend, telling them about your most favorite product, and then saying, what do you think? And them saying, oh my gosh, you're so passionate about this. Like, these oils, they're really fascinating. Tell me more. And that opens up the ability to start selling to them, right? So marketing doesn't have to feel standoffish, doesn't have to feel sleazy. It can feel like chatting with a friend in a really cozy environment. And that's the type of messaging people want to receive. They don't want to be shouted at. Have you guys ever written a post where you're just like really blunt to the message and you're just shouting that there's a BOGO deal or something? Nobody wants to be shouted at, right? They want to be talked to. The average person encounters like 3,000 marketing messages in a day and only actually pays attention to 2 of them. How do we become that person that they pay attention to? So that's really where we want to go. If you are going to share any part of tonight's presentation, I just want to give my Instagram handle there, or you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn at the same name. So just if you're going to take any screen grabs, please tag me in them so I can see you and connect with you. Okay. Before we get into the principles, I need to make sure you have a foundation built. Okay. So this is step 1, because there's really no point in layering on a marketing strategy to a shaky business foundation. So first, I just want you to dial in on whether or not you have a really awesome product to sell. Does everyone believe they have a great product, whether that's selling the oils or selling the business opportunity? Is that the best product you could possibly be putting marketing into right now? I hope the answer is yes. Do you know the audience of people you're going to sell to? And I believe Jen took you through that in the training last weekend, is knowing your target audience, who you're speaking to, right? And making sure that audience exists. Like, are these people out there? The next thing is understanding what I call your unique brilliance. What makes you different? You know that there are many, many, many wellness advocates across the globe selling the same product, but the opportunity still exists because every person is different. You have a unique brilliance. You have to extract it and know what it is so clearly that when somebody says, Bill, why should I spend my hard-earned money with you? That you come back with a response. So if I come to your door tomorrow and I say, why should I spend my hard-earned money with you? Why should I invest in the product you sell? I want you to be able to answer me, because otherwise we've got a bit of a crack in the foundation. And the other thing is, do you have a vision right now? Do you know how many builders you want to work with in the next year? Do you have an objective for how many oil kits you want to sell? Because it's tough to refine our marketing strategy when we don't even know where we're going, right? A marketing strategy is the bridge between where you are now and the vision you have for the future. So without that vision, the marketing is just going to be leading to 5 billion different places. So we want to make sure there is a vision so that where you are now and where you want to go has the bridge, which is the marketing strategy. Okay. So hopefully you're clear on those. And of course, you can always reach out to me and I can send you some additional resources on fixing any of these portions of your foundation if you feel like some cracks exist. Now we get to dive into the marketing secrets. Okay, number 1, I call this marketing secret the Experiential Expo. You might have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm about to explain. So if you're wondering, what is experiential? What is experiential marketing? I want to first share an experience that I had as a teenager, okay? So when I was about 12 years old, my parents let me go to the local theme park with just my friends. We felt really cool because we got to run around, go to the splash pad, we got to go on the spinning teacups ride, we got to go on the Ferris wheel, drive the bumper cars, blah, 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 eat bad food. And on our way out, our parents were picking us up, and I encountered this big blue display. And I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I was with my friends, and all of a sudden this team of teenagers came over to us and they're like, hey, come on in. And we were whisked into this 10 by 10 tent. And it was a Pepsi taste challenge. And so I'm there, I'm not sure what's going on, but they're like, come on over here and we want you to try a sample. And they gave me 2 cups. And they were covered with these little masks, basically. And they said, give each one a try and then let us know which one you like better. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I take a drink of one, I take a drink of the other. And then I'm like, I like this one better. And they're like, oh, that's Coke, but that's okay. You still walk away with this cool trucker hat, and we're going to give you a scratch card for a free Pepsi, or you might win a whole case. There's music playing. The team that's working is like so energized. And, we all left the experience and we're like, that was fun. We each had like a new hat or a new t-shirt or a free Pepsi that we walked out with. I'm at the grocery store the next day with my mom, and we were a Coke drinking family, okay? Always red cans of Coke in the downstairs fridge. So when friends came over, it was like, do you want a Coke or a ginger ale? I'm at the grocery store with my mom, and she's restocking the Coke. And I said to her, Mom, do you think we could buy Pepsi this time? And she's like, oh, why? And I was like, I don't know. I just like them. And we took the case of Pepsi and put it in our cart. And since then, my mom started to buy Pepsi. I don't know what that little conversion did to her, but based on me having that remarkable experience, I became a lifelong Pepsi drinker. Now, I no longer drink it because I know how terrible it is for me, but you can see how giving people an experience, oftentimes a free experience, allows them to try your product or service and then make a decision on whether they want to invest more in you. So this is called experiential marketing. And it's really a strategy that captures attention of your dream clients using an immersive experience, okay? So rather than just trying to sell people on oils or sell them into your team by telling them, I swear it's a great opportunity, can you give them some sort of experience in what it's like to be a builder, in what it's like to use the oils? Because oftentimes trial is going to make them a lifelong customer, or coming to an experience is going to keep them around as a builder so much longer. Okay. So instead of thinking that you need to rely on expensive Facebook ads or complicated funnels or fancy Canva graphics, just allow people to experience how awesome your product or how awesome it is to be a builder, right? You could try to convince people all day to buy from you, or you could just let them try your awesome product and not have to convince them at all, right? So are you letting people sniff the bottles of oil? I get that this is hard in COVID, but you have to come up with a workaround because people still want to buy. They still want to spend money. Have you ever allowed somebody to use lavender to fall asleep if you know they have sleeping troubles? Have they ever felt the energy of your team? Even if you don't have a team, you have to pretend and create a culture that they can experience, right? We need them to feel what it's like to have these Wednesday night calls and to get on Zoom together and to be surrounded by like-minded people, right? So experiential marketing is such a great way to foster an emotional connection and to make people feel like they're not really being sold to. They're just in a trial period and then they decide, yeah, I kind of like this. Like, that's how easy marketing can be. So I want to ask you, what experience can your dream clients, so whoever you decided was your target audience, what experience can they enter into? Something that can really allow them to feel the energy of your business. And is the experience, so if you're sending them samples of lavender, is it memorable? Like, did you add a handwritten note? Is it remarkable? Did you add in, fresh sprigs of lavender and say, like, this real lavender is distilled into a bottle, right? Giving an experience isn't just sending, little vials of oil in the mail and being like, hope they like them. That's not an experience. An experience is like an unboxing experience. Have you ever gotten a shipment from somebody and there's like fun packaging and there's a handwritten note inside and maybe there's like a little flyer or the box is decorated and all of a sudden you take out your phone, you're like, cool, look at this company. So if you're going to try to deliver an experience, you got to go all in. Make it something that they'll remember. And again, because we don't have the in-person classes anymore, maybe you think creating an experience is hard, but I've been part of some really good online experiences. Like Jen was playing music when we came in. That's something that makes an experience fun. There are so many touch points, even on Zoom, even when we can't have those in-person classes. So experiential marketing is something I want you all to consider. It's possible for all of us to allow people to take our product for a test drive. Okay. How can people test drive you? All right. Principle number 2 is called the Almanac of Relevance. So this is all about creating relevant messaging that is timely and that makes your dream clients' ears perk up, okay? So as marketers, our job is to keep up with what's going on in the world so that we can position our product against it. Okay. So again, our job as marketers is to watch what's going on in the world and then position what we have to offer against what's happening in the world. Okay. So you can ask yourself some questions like, does what I post on social media relate to the current times? Like COVID, right? People are still worried about COVID. It's impacting all of us as a collective global experience. So is what you post relevant to that? Is what you share practical to the season or to the month or to the week, right? Right now, we're thinking about spring here in the hemisphere I live in. We're thinking about April Fool's Day tomorrow. We're thinking about the end of the quarter because it's March 31st. So as a builder, you may decide to do an end of quarter recap to show potential builders how freaking awesome this business opportunity can be. That's relevant because today is literally the last day of the quarter. We really need to piggyback on what's going on in the world. For example, when COVID hit back in March, any existing marketing campaigns had to be canceled because they weren't relevant. The people who pivoted and were like, I get it, mama. You are crazy busy. There are kids running around. You're homeschooling. You're working. You feel out of control, and our product can help you with that. They got the money, right? Because it was relevant and it was timely. Without relevant messaging, marketing campaigns kind of just go in one ear and out. It's like, for example, before Super Bowl happened, if you had a blog and you posted a Super Bowl worthy nacho spread, everybody's ears perked up. They were like, ooh, save that recipe. It's relevant. It's timely, right? So what I would suggest for you all, and this is just a screen grab that I grabbed from the internet, but I have a template that I can send any of you if you want it, is to plan for a month. What's happening in the world? Do you have Easter mapped into your content calendar? Do you have April Fool's Day? Do you have end of Q1? Depending on your goals. So if attracting builders is your goal, you're going to want to talk about relevant events in the business world. Like, when is Women's History Month? When is National Entrepreneur Day? When is the end of Q1 and Q2? Those are things that if you talk about them, people are going to see you as the expert business owner and say, hey, how did you start your business? Can you tell me more? Oh, I didn't know I could have a doTERRA business as well. Can you send me more info? And hopefully it leads to a builder signing on. So your Almanac of Relevance, if you're trying to attract builders, is around sharing related content for business builders. If it's for attracting essential oil customers, your Almanac of Relevance should be centered around, okay, so for example, Super Bowl. If you're going to make Super Bowl nachos, can you use like the black pepper essential oil in the recipe? That's relevant. Another thing you can do to be relevant is to play on pop culture or what's going on in the media. So it's funny because I was chatting with a client like 6 months ago, and we were doing some marketing coaching with her, and she organizes closets. Okay. She's a residential organizer, and she gets on this call with me and she goes, did you watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians last night? And I'm like, I don't watch that show. I wish I did, to be honest, but no, I don't. But I know 5 million other people do, or probably more. And she's like, Kim's closet was a mess. And I was like, okay, I don't really care. But then I thought, wait, you need to make a meme, or you need to do a campaign around how Kim needs to hire you because you are a closet organizing machine. Like, she can make a closet look so good. So she ended up creating an email campaign. She did Instagram stories of what she would do to Kim Kardashian's closet. She kind of like took the screen grab from the TV show, and then she drew arrows using Instagram stories and was like, she needs to get buckets for her shoes. She needs to install more clothing racks. She needs to add a rug in here. And like, it was so brilliant. And she had so many people inquire about her services because of that. Most people would just watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But remember, you're a marketer. You don't just watch, you look and you go, oh, shoot, Kim, okay, here's this fake example. Kim Kardashian says, oh, I have eczema. What do as a wellness advocate? You make a post or a blog about oils that Kim could be using for eczema. Why? Because it takes your product and it positions it against a timely event, something that's going on in the media, okay? You get to now tap into Kim's audience and Kim's fans. So super, super easy as a marketer. That would be an example of how you can easily create a campaign based on what's going on in the world. So a couple of things on that. Do you have a master content calendar in place? And when I say master content calendar, it could literally be something you print off the internet that's like March 2021 calendar, and you're going to write in dates that you need to capitalize on. And are you able to enter the conversation in your dream client's mind? So if they're thinking about spring and allergies, I hope that you are entering that conversation and saying, do you get allergies in the spring? Maybe you should try this trio. And is there anything happening in the world right now that you feel people can relate to? Okay, gonna keep moving here. Principle number 3, I think we're on 3, is the art of fascination. So what does it mean to be fascinating? Well, it's certainly not a word we use in everyday vocabulary, but pulled from the internet, the definition of being fascinating is simply to attract attention or hold people's attention, or to have a unique power, or to have personal charm, or to have an unusual nature, or to enthrall somebody, or to arouse curiosity in a customer or a builder, or to have some sort of allure. And my guess is that all of you have purchased a product lately because you were fascinated by it. You were charmed by the salesperson. The ad had a lot of power to it. Or maybe you were curious and you wanted to try it, or it was alluring. Somebody that has a huge fascination advantage is somebody like Lady Gaga, right? She's fascinating. I think when she started sharing her image and her music and her clothing, people were fascinated. They didn't really know what it was about her. Like, yeah, she dressed weird, but she also had a lot of other things going on for her. She was fascinating. I'm sure you all watch people's social media, maybe their Instagram stories. And some of them, you watch every single thing they post. Why? Probably because they fascinate you in some sort of way. They attract your attention. They have a unique charm to them. They're alluring. And usually we are fascinating when we're just expressing ourselves. So ask yourself, am I actually expressing who I really am? Sit with that for a sec, right? Why is Lady Gaga fascinating? Because she's fully self-expressed. Like, you get what you see, or I don't even know what I'm trying to say with that, but like, she's not holding back, you know? So I want you to think, is there anything about you that resonates with these words? Can you turn up your personal charm? Are you provoking curiosity when you talk about oils or the business opportunity? Are you able to hold someone's attention? Like, you don't just like give them everything right away, but maybe you start dripping little bits of how awesome oils are. And maybe you talk about the benefits and then you share which oil it is at the end of your marketing. So there is a fascination test that you guys can go through. I'm going to show you here. It is a test created by Sally Hogshead, and she wrote a book called The Fascination Advantage. And when you go through the test, it will spit out your fascination advantage, either innovation, passion, power, prestige, trust, mystique, or alert. And then you can learn about this particular advantage. So if you want the code to this test, I have a free code for you. Email me or find me on social media. I'll give my contact info at the end. and I'll give you the code to take your Fascination Test. This would be similar to a strengths test, but it's just a bit of a different spin here. So I want to ask you, do you know what's fascinating or unique or different about your brand? And can you play it up so that people cannot ignore you, just like Lady Gaga? Okay, let's keep moving here. Principle number 4, relationships, the relationships recipe. So I always say, no matter what business you're all in, you are in the business of relationships. Whether you're trying to attract builders or essential oil customers, it always starts with a relationship with that person. You're not just trying to get them to become a builder. Like, this is a human to human interaction here. So we have to treat each other as such, which means fostering a relationship. And like I mentioned at the beginning, people will join your team or they will buy from you when they feel safe. And in order to feel safe, they need to have a relationship with you. You'll never attract a builder if they don't feel safe in your presence. And that safety starts with a positive relationship, a strong relationship, okay? So let me go through some quick ideas for relationship building. So number 1, relationship building could be strategic partnerships. Are you building relationships with local yoga studios or yoga instructors? That would make sense with essential oils, with attracting a builder. You have to get out of your 4 walls of your office, right? So this is just one example, building a relationship with a yoga studio. Relationships are the reason that Kylie Jenner is a billionaire. So you can see here on the right how important it is. She made one relationship. So a company called Seed Labs came to her. They made a relationship. They had a production facility for makeup. She had an audience of 5 billion people or something like that. That single relationship made her a billionaire off of her lip kits. So there was nothing to do with her strategizing behind the scenes, hiring people. It was, hey, you got an audience, you have an awesome production facility, boom, let's have a relationship and make this thing easy. She's got a team of 7 people, that's it. And she's a billionaire. So why am I telling you this? Because for you, say you feel like, I don't have any builders in my presence. I don't know anybody who wants to join my team. Make a relationship, make many relationships with somebody who does have a network. Okay. You've got the opportunity, but you don't have the audience of people to convert into builders. So you have to go out and seek somebody who has a community, like the yoga studio where there's 50 wellness oriented people, like the local cafe where you know all the employees would make great builders. You got to get yourself partnered there. It takes work, but you can see how that is wildly advantageous to you, right? Or maybe you know someone who makes a complementary product. They make a sleep mask. Have a partnership with them. You can tap into each other's audiences, right? You get exposure of your oils because you swap audiences. So my challenge to you is to ask who has a larger network than you that you could partner with. Because if you're looking for builders and they're not in your audience, they're in somebody else's, right? So could you get on an Instagram live with somebody who has the potential clients that you want to work with? Could you do an email swap where you each write an email about each other? These relationships are invaluable. And can you deepen the relationship with your existing customers? Because that's equally as important. So maybe sending them a little love note, just sending them a Facebook Messenger saying, hey, you're awesome. That's deepening a relationship, right? Staying top of mind. And then maybe they're like, hey, thanks. Can I order some more peppermint? So deepen relationships every day. This should be how you spend a lot of your free time. Okay, I want to go through 2 more principles, if I may. I'll go through them quickly. So the next principle is the you zig, I zag principle. And this one boils down to being polarizing, being different. Because as we've mentioned, there are so many people who are offering the business opportunity, who are offering essential oils. So if we pay attention to what's different, but we ignore what's average, then I want you to be different. I want you to zig when everyone else is zagging, doing the opposite of what others are doing. And as I'm sure you've seen on the internet, a lot of people are sharing the same graphics. A lot of people are sharing the same content. That is not operating on the you zig, I zag. You can't be doing this like everyone else. This is not a me too strategy. I know duplication works, but you have to add your own magic to the template. So, what are some words that you would describe yourself with that could spark a reaction? Like, are you, the spiritual business guru? Are you the free-spirited oil dealer? Just don't call yourself the same thing everybody else. Don't call yourself a wellness advocate. That would be my advice, because everyone's calling themselves that. You're different. You don't have to call yourself that. Go zag when everyone else is zigging. Pull a different swing on this, okay? Case in point, when I scrolled all your BOGO sales, you were all posting the same image. Why would I choose yours, right? Go create something different. So a couple things to figure out your zigzag. Maybe there are some opinions in the network marketing industry that are generally taken as the way it's supposed to be, but that you don't agree with. Maybe you build your business in a different way. Talk about that. Maybe you deal oils in a totally unique way. Talk about that. Maybe there's a common narrative around essential oils that you actually think differently about. This is what gets you attention, right? Everybody knows about peppermint and headaches, but not many people know that peppermint heals your dead grass. I made that up. Don't use that. But again, we've got to be thinking outside the box. And the final principle is the shareability scorecard. So this principle is all about making your community front and center. So your business is shareable if more people join your movement. And one easy way to get more people to join your movement is to create more shared experiences, shared workshops, shared meetups. And it's not enough to just provide the product anymore. I want all of you to be thinking about what is it that gathers people and that allows them to have this space where we can all talk, we can all share, where we can feel like we're part of something, okay? People will usually come to you for your product, but they will stay for the community and they'll continue to share because of the community. So again, they'll come for the product, they'll stay for the community. So do you have any sort of community that you have added into your strategy? For your builders, what is that community that allows people to feel more connected to the brand, to the business? So when you build community and people feel loyal to that community, they will act as an unpaid marketing squad. So this is a snapshot from, I don't know if this was from a visionary method call or a workshop that I hosted. Anyways, a group of visionaries where I gather a bunch of us. And in this community, when we meet every single Wednesday, there are always people who are taking screenshots and sharing to their Instagram stories, or I ask them to invite their friends to try a free call with us. Experiential marketing, right? I want them to come try us on for size. And once people feel that community, when they realize that this is more than just a marketing coaching program, just more than a template or a strategy that I'm teaching, they stay, and they stay long term. and your business becomes shareable, because when you have those lifetime customers, those people who really love the product you sell, they talk to other people. They're out at the coffee shop and they're like, oh my gosh, you need to join this community. Have you tried peppermint? Did you know you can build a doTERRA business? It's the best. So you really want to make sure there's that group where people can connect, that hub where you have a weekly reoccurring meeting or a monthly meetup for builders, because we need to nurture people to the point where they feel like they're an advocate for your business. And they're out there sharing and talking about you and how awesome you are at it, or how awesome it is to join your team. So my challenge on that is, have you made any operational choices that bring your community together, that make it more than just a product? And whether it's your builders or your essential oil customers, do they talk about your product and your service when they use them? So maybe you teach like this epic class all about the 10 underused oils, and they found so much value in it that they go then talking about it and they tag you in everything they post. And they're saying, wow, Giselle is so savvy. I didn't even know all of this. So before I check in on questions, I want to know, which of the strategies will you implement in your business growth plan? So just as a recap, we talked about experiences, so experiential. We talked about the Almanac of Relevance, so positioning against Kim Kardashian's closet. Fascination, relationships, you zig, I zag, so being polarizing, or shareability and community. Let me pull up the chat. Love this. Pop culture references. Yeah, that's awesome. Someone wants to zag. Yes, you need all of them. Yeah. Experiential. Yes, love that. Community and experiential. Very cool. So I'll open it up for questions. Jen, I know we're a bit over time, so do you want to wrap this up, or should we do a couple minutes of questions?
Well, let's definitely do questions, because I know we started a few minutes late, so 100%. If anyone wants to raise your hand, we can unmute you and you can ask Kelsey a question. Take this opportunity, guys.
Yeah, happy to answer really anything that comes to mind around marketing. So don't be shy. Anything that you want to know about marketing strategies, what works, how you can implement it in your business. Or maybe you've tried something that didn't work so well and you want to dissect it.
All right, so Giselle has a question. So go ahead, Giselle.
Thank you, thank you, Jennifer. Hey, in the beginning, you use the analogy of the wheel and then the spokes. So do you recommend that we have more than just one marketing platform then?
Such a good question. Yeah. So what I would do is I would actually draw your hub, draw at least 5 or 7 spokes off of it. Okay. So to have a marketing strategy means to have multiple channels. Reason being, you need to do some testing. Maybe in 10 years' time, you realize the only thing that works for me is Facebook ads. So you've cut everything else. But I think where all of you are in your business, 5 to 7 ways. So Facebook could be one, Instagram could be one, LinkedIn could be one, email could be one, word of mouth or a referral program could be one, being part of your church meetup group could be one, networking at a community event could be one, and that's 7.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be necessarily social media platforms then. Because
Totally.
I had 5. I was doing Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and Twitter.
Yeah.
And I just let the 2 go because it was like, I'm not really getting a lot of feedback there. So I went back and I kind of opened up my personal Instagram a little bit to share appropriately, not to slam everybody with the products as such, but to do more of the education. And then, I still have my branding on Facebook but
Yep.
really started kind of focusing on the Instagram because that seems to be like where people are kind of hanging out right then. And then doing, I think Jennifer brought on a lady that owns a company called My Events Cafe.
Yeah.
So started doing that. And then I'm just going to do a very, just a very simple website where I can kind of start catching people's email addresses and things like that and start building that up a little bit.
Perfect. That sounds like a really well-balanced strategy.
Okay.
I would say anything you can add in terms of partnership. Like, I know you said you're posting a lot on your social media. I don't know how big your audiences are, but it's like, do you know anyone who has an audience where you can get in front of them and teach a class? You can get in front of them and do a giveaway.
Okay. I did partner with somebody on Instagram with the giveaway, and
Yep.
sadly nobody did what the guy asked them to do. So nobody won. So I felt bad. It was like, should we just give this to somebody? And he didn't even respond to me. So I was like, okay, well, this will be a learning, process
Yep.
for me, and say, okay, well, that didn't work. It needs to be more simple and dumbed down. So I can get the product into somebody's hands. So
Yep.
and then I also, and just advice for other people, I also use Next Door Neighbor app. And I'm literally connecting with, I created a group on there, and I have about 50 people that have joined it.
Awesome.
They're all very quiet right now, but people are continuing to join. So I think that's good. And then a lady she's got, she didn't go into a lot of detail, but she has a natural food based marketing that she does. And so I asked her if she wanted to partner with me. It's like, do you want to do a class together? so
Awesome. I love it.
baby
Yeah.
steps.
You're a go-getter. So, keep asking, keep creating the groups that you don't see that exist. So yeah, it sounds
Very
like you're
good.
very much on the right track.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Does anybody else have a question that they want to ask Kelsey while she's here? This is your chance.
You can always follow up with me after on Instagram quite often, or you can email me hello@kelseyreidl.com.
Jen, can I ask? I can't get my hand to work to go up.
Yeah, go ahead, Nancy. Go ahead.
Do you still think email is effective, Kelsey, compared to the social media? Like they always say, oh, email is only 10% open. Like, do you really think it's still effective to build relationships and build audiences? Or?
Yeah. So, the algorithms are always changing on social media. We never really know what's going to happen, who's viewing our Instagram stories. Email's very consistent. So I would always suggest building an email list. Your email will always land in people's inboxes, and most people are in their inbox just as much as they're on their social media platforms. And the good thing is with emails, you're able to click through, find people's websites. I operate with very direct and short emails. So I email people and I say, hey, is there anything I can help you with when it comes to your online marketing strategy? And people are like, oh, yes, I need help with Facebook ads. And so I use direct response marketing in email where I'm not just creating like oodles of content. I'm asking them questions. I'm trying to engage in conversation and get to the point because I respect their time. But email's not dead. It works very well.
And do you do video in your emails? Do you find that more effective too? I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, I think that is a strategy. If you're really good on video, but you're not good at writing, absolutely do videos. I prefer writing, so I tend to stick there. I don't have any data for you as to like how many people actually watch the videos, but it is absolutely an effective strategy, especially if you're going to create a really cool video for them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Okay, well, I don't see any more hands up, but I'm sure you guys may have some questions or something's going to mull around in your head. And I've put Kelsey's information in the chat box there. So please give her a follow on Instagram and on Facebook. That's how we can give our biggest thank you, is by following along and continuing to learn from her. She does such amazing content that she posts all the time. And if you're not on her email list, how can they get on your email list? Is there a way to do that from Instagram or
Yeah, the best place to go, I'll type it in the chat, is just to go to kelseyreidl.com/free-downloads. And I have downloads for improving your marketing, getting better on social media, building an online business. So pick a download that you want. And then yes, you will automatically be on my email list if you give me your email for that free download. So choose one and that's the way you can join.
Awesome. I love it. Well, everyone, please give a huge, huge, huge thank you to Kelsey. You can even unmute yourself and say thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
ladies, so much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for popping on. Thank you again, Kelsey, for being here, and go give her a follow. All right, everyone, have a great
Bye.
evening.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.